Hi, Karen.
Oh,
Thank you very much for joining.
pleased to meet you.
It's wonderful to have you. So let's have a conversation about how small law firms are heading and also something about your experience and expertise helping companies to relocate. These are first-hand experience. So you can start with telling a little bit more about yourself, introduce yourself and tell us what you do. And
Okay, well, I set up a law firm. I think it's coming up to about 18 years now. So we were called a city law firm, but we've now gone beyond the city realms, beyond the UK. So we rebranded this year to All-in-One Advisory. So we help startups, scale-ups, those going through exits, mergers, acquisitions, the larger VC rounds. So we hopefully are on a whole journey with the company from start to finish where possible. We're even helping them relocate from overseas to the UK, or if they're considering like the Middle East, Dubai, we offer them a roadmap how to safely relocate or open the Middle East. We run programs out there. So I'm always trying to innovate. I'm always trying to encourage clients to take sensible, secure advice as well as run and be commercial and innovative. We're based in the city of London, so we're right in the heart of things. I often get out to Budapest or Canada or Dubai to obviously see what other markets are doing, see how I can advise clients, how they can benefit from that. We've always tried to be ahead of the curve. So we've taken on autonomous vehicles over 10 years ago, drones before it was regulated. We try to help companies understand what the law could look like in the future, what kind of risks that they're posing, to help with negotiations over contracts and insurance. So for us, we're always trying to work with exciting businesses. Yes, we're the boring lawyers that have their back to talk about risk and boring stuff, but hopefully that gives them then the safety net to scale quickly and innovate with us as their partner. That's pretty much what we do as a nutshell.
well, that's brilliant because classic law firms, people go to them to just get one advice about, okay, I want to establish a company, can you help me? And classic way of doing it is to stick to that. But innovative firms like yourself, you have the full package. You go beyond that, you think ahead, you look at the regulation, and you offer a full package so that when they come to you, they come to someone who knows what's happening in the market, who have their interests at heart, and also help them to be successful in their adventure. And have you seen more of a rush into startup area because of the technology and AI? Do you see more and more companies are establishing and moving forward faster, or can you experience it?
So the startup scale up word has always been really quick and innovative in the UK and especially in London. Yes, of course, you're seeing more tech businesses come into the market now because that's just the way the world is. We're seeing lots and lots of AI companies, some that are not actually AI, but some that are genuine innovative AI, some that are actually developing software, some are e-commerce. I think what we've experienced is a slowdown in investment into the UK. Not drastic. It's just that a lot of people are now going for the bigger tickets in America. So I think we're adjusting in the UK. I think it was slow, then it got faster. And then we're sort of dipping our toe with angel investment, and we were more cautious and developing companies slower. But I am seeing that speed up again now. People want investment quicker, they want to scale quicker, they want to move forward quicker. Is it a good or a bad thing? It depends on the business. Some are ready to scale quickly. I'm also saying to a lot of people, exercise caution, don't go straight to giving away shares and control in your business and taking equity. Maybe wrap it, generate some income, maybe get some debt financing, because the world's all about sell your shares, get money in, and it doesn't have to be that way. So I think it's an exciting time and it's an awkward time. It's exciting because the technology is helping. It's scary because a lot of people are relying too much, in my opinion, on AI. We get some terrible contracts sent to us where they've drafted it on chat and it's wrong. It's actually worse having it than it isn't. They're not understanding the experienced commercial support is more important than just a draft document. But those that are using technology are obviously taking away administration. So I just keep saying use it as a tool. It's a tool in your toolbox, but don't let it take over. You have to use a hybrid of things, from advisors to AI to investors to the bank to mentors to income. And I think sometimes we rush into things because it's sexy, it's new, everyone's doing it, and then we learn from the mistakes. So I'm just always constantly saying, yes, use it, adopt it, but just err on the side of caution and take advice. Which, lawyers always are risk averse, but we're trying to be really proactive. We're trying to encourage people, energize them, but at the same time protect them. So it's always a difficult time.
Yes, our audience are lawyers and law graduates and even managing partners of law firms who are listening to these podcasts. And I always tell them that the concern is whether or not AI is going to take our jobs or their jobs. The phrase that we hear is that AI is not going to take your jobs, but someone who in your field using AI and implementing it well may probably take over more of the job than you do. So the risk isn't AI, the risk is being resistance to it because the technology is there. It's not that we have a choice whether or not to adopt it. We don't have a choice. It's there, and if we don't, we are going to be lacking behind. So what sort of message do you have for law firms or colleagues in regards to AI adaptation and your experience as well with it?
It's interesting because we've always tried to be different and we've always tried to be ahead of the curve. So 10 years ago, I was told hybrid working, paperless wouldn't work. 17 years ago, my model, which is monthly payments and fixed fees only, no hourly rates, wouldn't work. And now we're following our model and we're doing really well because we adopted that years ago. And when COVID hit, it made no impact on us because we were already geared up for paperless, for remote working. So it's the same with AI, it's the same with all the technology and the tools that come forward. You cannot be scared of it, you cannot run away from it, you have to teach yourself how to use it. It's a scary impact for a lot of traditional service providers. There's a lot to learn. But the thing is, if you're not ahead of the curve, your clients are ahead of you and they won't want you. So you have to learn, you have to teach yourself, you have to have good, robust policies so your staff are following AI correctly and not putting confidential data into chat. You've got to have the monitors and all the boring things to make sure you're doing it right. But if you're not embracing it, you're going to fall behind. I'm very tired of hearing AI will take my job because actually it's making my job easier. I can work faster, but at the same time, clients are realizing that they need our actual time to have a conversation for commercial, for practical reasons. So I'm actually getting more time speaking with them. And then, to be honest, when it goes wrong and people aren't listening, we're making more money in the litigation field resolving it. It's just about education.
You are quite right. You touched upon very important point that clients are changing. It's the expectation. Clients are evolving over time. If you don't evolve with them, they are going to say, hang on a minute, are we in 2025 or which year are we if you deal with them in a very old-fashioned way? So they want more efficiency from you. They won't expect you to actually use the technology so that you give them a faster, better, more efficient, and even lower cost service. And that is how fixed fee comes in because when Australia is always ahead in this sort of sense. They have the most advanced legal management systems. I remember in the firm I was using Leap, it's an Australian management system. There are others as well. And in Australia, 93% of the firms are doing fixed fee. There are very, very minority firms that are still on hourly rate. So this is, again, shifting of expectation. What do you think?
It's really important that clients understand the value of what we're doing. So it's very difficult when someone, can you just knock me up a £300 shareholders agreement because it's being done by a template company down the road. It's very important we express, well, we're giving you advice, we're getting to know the business, we're protecting the founders, we're not just drafting a cheap and cheerful document, we're here to advise you. So it's really important that people understand the value of what an actual regulated solicitor who's insured, who's qualified, doing. But at the same time, they obviously don't want to walk in and give you a blank check. You have to be transparent and honest on costs. We have the requisite experience to be able to say it's going to cost you X. So it should be a capped or fixed fee. Then they know exactly where they stand. And what we've done, we've run this for the last 15 years, is had a payment plan over 12 months. So you value what you're paying for, you get what you pay for, but you're just budgeting it out over 12 months to support and assist you. But we're not doing it cheap and cheerful. We're not doing it for free. And I think people are starting to understand that's important. And the problem is we were competing, particularly last year, everyone's going, well, I can just do it on AI. I can just use a company. The problems are now arising when they realise they've signed up to documents that are awful, that they've given lots of minority shareholding rights away, they put it into the wrong jurisdiction. So I do think things are changing, and I do think people should adopt more to a more cost-effective, accessible, fixed fee model. But we have to still impress upon people the value of what we're doing.
Actually, AI case and efficiency and technology is helping us towards more fixed fee, and it is beneficial for lawyers because if we tell them that we are going to charge you hourly, and then for a contract, we say we are charging you 10 hours, they know that we didn't spend 10 hours drafting the contract. Whereas if we say it doesn't matter how long we spend, this is the fee that we charge you, and we don't have to tell them how much time we spent on it. At the end of the day, this is your stamp on it that makes the contract valid and valuable. Otherwise, if a client does a contract with AI, they cannot 100% say this is good. They cannot go ahead with it. They don't trust it because a lawyer's stamp isn't on it. So your experience, your expertise is very valuable. Even you spend half an hour checking the document, you can still charge a good amount of money, equivalent to maybe in a traditional way 5 hours that you would have spent without the technology. So actually fixed fee is more justifiable right now with the efficiency as well, don't you think?
Absolutely. I mean, we know, like I said, in experience, how long it's going to take, but there's obviously some scope for negotiation, the complexity. Maybe the client wants a meeting in person rather than a call, but that can all be built into a fixed fee. And yes, I've spent a bit longer with one client than another. Sometimes one's slightly more complex than the other, but you can average that out. And with experience doing this day in, day out, you should know where you are. And we keep saying to clients, you are not just paying for a document, you're paying for a document that you understand, that you can actually negotiate, and you come from a position of strength when you go to the opposing party, but you can know what's involved in that. And I think a lot of people get a document that they just sign and they don't understand what they're agreeing. And it's really important either they understand it or they trust the person has drafted it on their behalf for their
Yes.
So you're buying comfort, really. You're buying resilience.
Absolutely, yes. The AI cannot explain to you phrases in the contract, why you are saying this, why is this there. So it's your role that not only you draft the contract, you explain to the client why this is it, and then the contract will sign it with an informed decision rather than with blind eye. So yeah, still the value of our work cannot be taken away by AI. Actually, AI can help us. We shouldn't be afraid of it. We should embrace it, and we should shift our way of working in a different way so that clients get the same service, they are happy, and our fees are justified. Can you tell us a little bit more about your expertise in helping companies relocate in Dubai and other countries?
I mean, obviously, we love the UK. We're based in the UK, and that's where we want to keep our clients. But unfortunately, people are going to move abroad. Ideally, we want them to stay here and move to Dubai or Canada or Hungary. But if they do decide to take the plunge and leave the UK completely, we'll facilitate that. So we're trying to give them a complete roadmap from start to finish, what they need to think about, what they need to be doing, rather than try and speak to 20 different people or research everything on the internet. The Middle East is very clear what you can and can't do. It's got very strict rules, and if you make a mistake, it can have serious consequences. So we're taking people out there. We're running programs so they get the boring tax and legals and visas. They understand the medical health care. We're showing them all the different sites where they can have offices, explaining the difference between mainland, offshore, and obviously the free zone areas. We're helping fintech understand the regulations there, helping AI businesses understand what the Middle East is doing at the moment, how you can then maybe even go to Abu Dhabi or Saudi. And I think what's important is we're asking all the questions. We're not just selling a little bit here, there, and everywhere. The whole package is in front of a client from A to Z, what they need to do. And, even when you come to the UK, somebody was saying to me, where do I go and find a whole starter? I can speak to a tax advisor, I can speak to a lawyer, but what about all the bits in the middle? What insurance? A lot of people don't know they have to register with the Information Commissioner. So, if you think how concise we are in the UK, what a minefield it is in Dubai. So that's what we're trying to do, is signpost everybody to exactly what they need and try and have independence as well. So we're not selling them, you have to do this, you have to use this person. We're introducing reliable sources, but it's entirely their choice who they use, of course.
Brilliant. I've seen your website. It's hundreds of pages of information. I don't know how many pages they are. It's very intense and it's got a lot of information on your website. And if a client goes to your website and finds you and wants to get more information, how do they do it? Do they make an appointment to have consultation? Is it free? Do you have some free consultation for clients? How does it work?
So if you are a commercial client, we'll always give you a half an hour free. So we understand your business and make sure we can support you. You get to know me or the team and you're happy with it. And then you get a fixed fee price list, or you'll get a capped fee, or you'll get a payment plan basically presented to you up front. So you know exactly what we're charging. And then obviously board you very quickly through our automated system. A lot of people tend to call us once a month. The fixed fees include all the emails and calls to get everything sorted. We are actually in the middle of relaunching our website, so we're trying to be more focused, because at one point it was all about giving, being educational, informative, which we still are, but we're now trying to do a bit more of a clear roadmap, because things have changed. You know, and as you go from startup to scale up to the more sort of VC level to then the exit, there is a whole different journey. So we confuse people, so we're actually going to be doing a section for each part. But the whole idea for us is to sort of be approachable. We're not reactive. What we do is we proactively say, have you thought about this? Have you met this person? Have you considered a grant or an R&D? Have you spoken to somebody overseas? Can I make introductions for you? The whole basically support them. And where we can't assist, find someone else. If they need to speak to another expert, help them. The whole part of all in one is to try and make sure that the company, whatever stage they're on, just feels that they've got a comfort zone around them and an ecosystem around them. So yeah, if they drop us an email, we'd have a complimentary call with them.
And where do you get your clients from? Do they come from the website or social media or networks, or how? Where do you get the pipeline of clients?
Mainly it's referrals, so repeat clients, accountants and other professional bodies we work with. We do 2 or 3 events a month where we do then get startups and scale ups. Social media is giving us a presence, and we're getting a few from LinkedIn, which we're now feeling LinkedIn is more of a platform that's becoming quite authoritative.
Yes.
We are rebranding and we are moving more now into the website and social media, because that's not something we've really relied on before. It's warm referrals, but you know, this is the new world. You know, you've got to teach us TikTok and Instagram. Again, like I said, it's hard work learning all these new things, but if that's what the generation are using, we have to too.
Yes, absolutely. We have a platform. Nexter Law has developed a very good platform. It's called Client Intake and Growth Platform. That it has different tiers: tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. And some of our clients are using it. They are extremely happy, especially those who have visitors to their website, especially the chatbot. It's chatbot, but it's actually an AI receptionist. Anything that a receptionist can do, this can do for them. So clients start talking, asking questions. What services do you offer? It asks back questions. Okay, what do you want? It gets basically a lot of information from the client and keep it in the system. And then books appointments, books consultation. Even if you charge for consultation fee deposit, it takes the deposit. Basically anything a receptionist can do, this can do for the law firm. So do you think this is something that busy law firms could adopt? This is just a start. Then we have other things inside. All the messages from all social media will go into the same platform. We have social media scheduling. Basically, all your social media posts can be scheduled within the system. So it's all in one platform for client intake and growth. It even sends the client link for Google review. Once the case is finished, automatically they receive a link that, okay, leave us a review. It's a proper, it's like replacing a couple of receptionists. Obviously, we don't want to replace anyone, but it's automation which is helpful for law firms.
Automation is the way to go to obviously speed up what you're trying to do. It just depends on the law firm. We did have WhatsApp. We did have a chatbot. We've actually turned it off, interestingly. I'm not saying yours, I mean, it sounds amazing what you're doing. I think our model is very much, we've never had receptionists. We've only ever had client management team. It used to be trainee solicitors. Now we have more senior members of the team. So when you call us and you're booked in, we've got senior members of the team who know you, who know your file, who know your clients. Only because our approach is we're very proactive and personal. That's the approach we want to take. Obviously, for certain clients, you know, it has to be automated and quicker. And I do think, you know, there are so many places for automatic onboarding, automatic AA, AML. It does depend on the different models. We kind of move in and out a bit. So the Middle East, for example, everyone uses WhatsApp, which is not something traditionally used in the UK at all. And I found years ago quite hard to manage. So I've started to look into how I'm going to actually monitor the WhatsApps and respond. So that's something have to help me with, because to go from social media to emails to Teams to Zoom, you know, we're using so many mediums anymore. So I think it's perfect what you're selling is to have it packaged somewhere in one box. Absolutely.
We also have another solution which is called AI assistant knowledge base, basically for firms like yourself who have a lot of knowledge inside. You know everything about relocation to Dubai. You feed all that information into this assistant. It's good for firms who have plenty of junior staff who keep wanting to know more. So you feed all your data into that assistant, and your junior colleagues, instead of asking you if they can't find you, they ask the assistant, and that assistant knows all your internal policies, all your prices, everything is in your head and in your website and within your internal documents and demos, all will be fed into that knowledge base. And one of the firms, which is a litigation firm, is really loving it. It says it's a lifesaver for us because we tend to forget, and we don't want to, try to remember everything. We are busy. Sometimes we forget that, oh, we had this regulation, this changed. Do you think that would be helpful for some firms, and is it a good solution?
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing the difference of walled AI, that's what we call it. So obviously, if you've got it, so it's trapped within your own internal system, so you can put confidential information in there, your staff can utilize it, so it's protected, and it's based on your templates, your information, it's safe, it's secure. I think the open data is what makes us nervous, what people are using it for, the reliability. So I've seen a lot of companies are creating their own walled AI, and I think that's imperative. Even just putting staff handbooks into Walled AI so they can find out what your grievance policies are, your paternity policies are, rather than reading mass PDFs. I'm seeing that more and more as well for HR departments, manuals for a lot of companies. And I think that's the way to go. We're so used to be able to finding anything quickly and getting the answer quickly. My concern
Yes.
doing it on OpenAI, we don't really know we're reading anything that's accurate. So having your own source and your own database, absolutely essential. And I think that's more of us have to go.
Absolutely. Yes, yes. So yeah, there is a lot of risk of putting your information on, LLMs. It's not advisable unless you have a higher package, which is secured, or custom chat GPTs. But tailor knowledge-based AI assistants are much safer, and you have full control, and you can feed it. You can even connect it to the live data to some extent so that it's interactive. It's not only connected to your system. But again, you decide what type of data is fed in. It's not, and it doesn't hallucinate. That is one of the issues with LLMs. It Have you ever asked ChatGPT a question? It says, I don't know. It always quickly gives you an answer. And sometimes it's just, I'm sorry, it's just nonsense, because it hallucinates. It tries to help you, and these language models treat you and me as fee-paying customers. So they don't want to turn us down. And the algorithm is designed in a way that keep the customer happy. They never tell you, oh, it's a bad idea. Whatever you say, it says that is a wonderful idea. It's not the right way. So we cannot 100% trust these models because of the black box. It doesn't explain how it came to the conclusion, and also hallucination. But more internal platforms are much safer.
Thank you. It was really nice to meet you and have this conversation.
Thank you. We learned a lot. We'll be in touch again. Thank you.